And Bonds hits right high. Hits it deep. It is out of here. This is caught. Diggs. Sideline. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Bryant for the win. Bang. Watch out. He's got getting away from the top speed.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the 4th episode of the Charlotte Hornets rebuild here on the Simgamingnetwork. Now, I do want to go ahead and fully disclose that this episode was not supposed to happen this way. I had went ahead and recorded the entire offseason for you guys, breaking it down from players that were retiring, staff signings, which we weren't able to really make any. We went through the draft combine. We did the draft invites. We had the lottery, and we had the draft as well as free agency, all in a video broken down for you. And for whatever reason, the footage didn't save. And so I'm very disappointed because I thought it was a very exciting and awesome deal to be able to bring you guys that offseason and make some moves on the fly with you guys and show you kind of my thought process of every single move that I made. So unfortunately, because we lost that footage, we're going to do a off-season recap video is how that's going to end up being. And the first thing I want to talk about is we were projected to have the 3rd overall pick, and we did indeed draw the 3rd overall pick, with the Trailblazers getting number 1 and the Raptors getting number 2. Now, going back to episode 1, I told you guys, Alexander Sarr, he was our guy, man. He looked like the best player in the draft. He had Hall of Fame potential as a ceiling. And at the time, I felt like we really needed a low post player like that with the Hornets. However, the emergence of Mark Williams started to change my mind. And Mark Williams played very, very well. He's on a nice team-friendly deal. He continues to get better for us. He makes big plays for us. And so it started to make me wonder if maybe we needed to go a different route. So when it boiled down to the draft, we knew that Portland was not going to take Alexander Sarr, number 1, and that they have DeAndre Ayton. So it came down to if the Raptors were going to take Alexander Sarr. Luckily for us, they took a different player. They went a different direction with point guard. So, sitting at 3, our guy who we've wanted the whole season is sitting right there. But was he the best guy for us to take based on what we need to try to become a playoff team now? And that's where the conversation had to be had of, we have Mark Williams, we have holes at the small forward position, we have holes at the power forward position because we decided that we're not going to bring back Miles Bridges, we want to go a different direction there. And we needed to improve our bench depth while also maintaining some cap flexibility for the future because we know this isn't a one-year turnaround. We know we need to have the ability to continue to grow this roster to hopefully compete for a title in a year or 2 from now, not this year. So we started looking at other potential players because when you're in the top 3, you really only have maybe 5 guys that you can truly look at, and anything else you're drafting guys you could have traded back for, right? So before we made our decision, I decided that I wanted to make a couple trades to see how that could impact the look of our roster and if that would help me dictate my decision at all. So when we talk about the trades that we made, the first one, we were trying to free up some extra cap space. So I grabbed Cody Martin and I threw Trey Mann in there because I want to give Killian Hayes a real shot. We also have some youth there as well if Killian Hayes does not work out. And shopping around, the Kings jumped all over it. They really wanted to get out of Kevin Huerter's deal because Cody Martin and Trey Mann are both 1 year left. Kevin Huerter has 2 years left. And to get out of this deal, they were willing to give us a 28 first-round pick. So for the Kings, it works out because they got 2 players on 1-year contracts who make less money than Kevin Huerter. Now, we were trying to free up cap space ourselves. We ended up taking about $5 million more back than what we gave away with an extra deal because Kevin Huerter's on the 2-year deal. However, we needed bench depth, y'all. Kevin Huerter is a great person for us to come off the bench, and he can also slide into a starting spot if we need to, given injuries or a team we're going against. On top of that, we got some draft capital down the line, which the Hornets don't have any of. So we desperately needed both of these players. Even though we didn't free up the cap space, we spent about $5 million of our free cap room. This was worth it to me because I felt like going into free agency, we weren't going to find much better than Kevin Huerter, and we still needed to dump Cody Martin and Trey Mann, and these were the best offers, so I took it. The next offer we searched out was we wanted to get rid of Mitchich, and with the emergence of Mark Williams and potentially taking Alexander Sarr, I knew that Nick Richards was expendable, and I thought I could pair him up with Mitchich, and the Thunder came knocking. They offered us a 26th first-round pick, which was what we really wanted, getting some more draft capital. And the nice thing is we don't have to wait 4 years for this first-round pick. We only have to wait 2. And again, these picks might be something we use for draft depth at the time, or we might use to try to flip them around in a trade down the line as well. But either way, we have them. And they gave us Kenrich Williams. So we needed to improve our bench. We needed to improve our shooting. Both these guys are knockdown shooters, man. We're really improving our shooting off the bench with Kenrich Williams and Kevin Huerter. So these were the 2 trades we made before we made our selection. And we had to then choose. Do we take Alexander Sarr, the clear best player in the draft? He's there for us. He could become a Hall of Fame player. Or do we take a player that fits our team's need a little bit better? And ultimately, we decided that Mark Williams was going to be our guy. And we went ahead and we drafted someone who I think could grow with our team. He immediately helps us out and is someone we can build around. And that's Tidjane Salaün. I don't know how to say his name. It's French. But he's 19 years old. We're gonna put him at the 3. He's basically our Miles Bridges replacement for a lot less money, and he's a lot younger. He's gonna be pretty much the same equivalent as Miles Bridges, but we're gonna potentially get a better player long term. 6'9", he can shoot the ball. He's got some decent defense, both perimeter and inside. Good playmaking, great physicals, and the potential isn't what we really hope for. We'd like to have better potential. But I do think there's some things we can do to help that out down the line. And that's where, when we look at the other moves we made in free agency, was all about to help our young team. And we did that by targeting guys who have some badges who can help us out. So Tobias Harris, I signed him strictly to mentor our youth. Our rookie, we got Brandon Miller, who can play the 3, but the badges that he carries are going to be huge to develop. And he's going to slide in and start at power forward. We got him on a nice 2-year deal. He's older. He's going to be able to add a whole extra level of play style for us that we just didn't have with last year's roster. And then because we didn't draft Alexander Sarr, I went and we needed a backup center. I didn't want to run Kenrich Williams or Grant Williams, out as our backup center. They're 6'6". We wanted some size. And so I went and I signed Bol on a friendly 2-year, $12 million deal. So again, I made some signings to give us some cap flexibility down the line and could help us out in the ways that we really needed. So that being said, here is how our roster looks. This is going to be our 9-man rotation, but we're going to also talk about some changes I might make. So we're going to continue LaMelo at the 1. As you can see, he jumped up to an 89 overall. Just turning into a superstar. Super excited about it. Brandon Miller increased up to an 81. These are going to be our two main guys. We got our rookie. We're only going to give him 25 minutes. We're not going to overwhelm him. We're going to give him 25 minutes, and we do have the bench depth to be able to afford to do this and not really lose out on much. Tobias Harris coming in as an 81 overall. Still, given the fact that he is in his 30s, we'll take that all day. Let's see here. Click this in. He is 32, but last year he averaged 16 points per game. So I mean, he's still being productive. He can score it from anywhere. We're going to take a little bit of a hit with him defensively on the outside, but I think Mark Williams can make up for it with his rim protection. So with the badges that he has here for shooting is really going to help our young guys develop their badges and grow. Mark Williams continued to get better. I'm super excited for him, man. He's a great guy for us. Down low, protecting the paint. He gets hustle buckets. We're obviously not going to throw it down to him and let him go to work. We're going to let him earn his points on pick and roll, offensive rebounds, slot plays, but he's just going to defend the rim for us, and he does an excellent job of that. Kevin Huerter's going to be our sixth man. We know he can shoot. We know he can attack the hoop a little bit as well, and he's got some shooting badges that are going to help us out going forward. Killian Hayes, this is your last opportunity, my guy. We're going to give you this year. We gave you a 2-year deal, and that was last year and this year. You got to show us something. Whether it's on the defensive end, offensive end, we got to see something from you. Right now, I have Grant Williams slated at our 8th spot. However, he's got some nice badges. He's 74 overall. However, I don't like the salary. We've talked about that in other videos as well. I don't like the salary that we're paying Grant Williams for 74 overall. And with the addition of Kenrich Williams, who makes half and is honestly, he doesn't have the badges, but he's a better shooter, just as good defensively on the perimeter. I feel like I really want to start Grant Williams. We'll let him play, but I think I want to put him on the trade block, see if someone will make a move for him. We can free up some cap space, because then I can throw Kenrich Williams in there, and I can free up some cap space going forward. We still have, right now, not playing Kenrich Williams. We have JT Thor. I have Kyle Lowry, who I did re-sign for mentorship. And we still have Nick Smith Jr. And Nick Smith Jr. is going to be a guy we're going to let continue to grow. And learn from the vets on this team. And if Killian Hayes does not get it done, we got Nick Smith Jr., who we can try to develop into that backup point guard role. And then, of course, Seth Curry, we have a final year with him, and we're going to let him go ahead and mentor with his 13 badges. So he's really there. He's a vet to help mentor people. So vet-wise, we got Seth Curry, Kyle Lowry, Kenrich Williams. So we have some vets. I mean, can you consider Kevin Huerter a vet? He's 26. We do have some vets and Tobias Harris. So we have some vets mixed with youth to help develop our team. And this is the rotation we're going to go with right now. But like I said, I have Grant Williams on the trading block to see if anyone makes an offer for him. I would really love to try to target Jaden McDaniels or Jonathan Kuminga to replace Tobias Harris whenever we move on from him. But we definitely don't have anything to offer, I believe, for either of these guys anytime soon. But Kuminga is about to be a free agent. There is no option here. And we did just gain 2 extra picks from our trades that we made. So would the Warriors, if we offered Grant Williams and some picks, want to give us Kuminga? Right? Or the Timberwolves, he's locked down. I don't think this would be the one to make sense. We're also going to eat it. We're going to eat that salary already. I think there could be a play for Kuminga potentially. Or do we wait until closer to the trade deadline and try to do Tobias Harris with those picks? It depends on the money. The money wise would be easier with Grant Williams, but that's something we'll take a look at down the line and see if we can make a play for Kuminga, because if we look at our finances, oops, if I could get to the right area here, my gosh, here we go. We have $3.5 million in cap space. We're projected to have $55 million next season. We lose Seth Curry's. We lose Kyle Lowry, which isn't much. Well, this is assuming we're not gonna have $55 million in cap space. We're gonna pick up Mark Williams, $6 million. We're gonna pick up Nick Smith Jr. most likely. We're gonna pick up Brandon Miller for sure. I don't know about here. Well, and Killian Hayes, that depends. Probably not. For $6 million, probably not. And Tobias Harris, we have a team option. So that's where I think if we can potentially either move on, if we can pair up either Tobias Harris or Grant Williams with those picks, then we can get out of Tobias Harris's deal, and we'll have that cap space we need for some of these players with options that are gonna, their salary's gonna go up. If we look over at let's look at the Warriors. They're negative $45 million right now. So if we were going to make a play for Kuminga, we'd probably have to take back someone with a little cap hit too. It'd probably have to be Gary Payton or something like that. But maybe honestly, it'd have to be like a Tobias Harris and somebody for Gary Payton and Kuminga, and then some first. But they do have $27 million in cap space going into next year. Now, if they want to bring back Kuminga, he's probably going to command almost all of that. And look at everyone they're losing. They still have Steph Curry. They got Draymond. They got all these guys here. They're going to lose so many people. And so I feel like Kuminga, I don't know how they're going to bring him back and fill out a roster. Between Wiggins and they're going to, and everybody else here, I don't know how they can bring back Kuminga with what he's going to want. There's just no way. I feel like there's just no way. Let's get an idea of what Kuminga would want. Let's go see how much Kuminga's going to want. So, around $20 million. So, yeah, I think we could honestly make a trade for Kuminga, because I don't know if the Warriors are going to keep him unless they make some other trades. We'll see. We're going to revisit that in another video, but this is where we're at right now with the team. And I'm very curious to what you guys think of how we put this team together. I think we're definitely improved over last year. I think we have more depth. And now we have some draft capital to go and maybe make another play. We cannot trade Tobias Harris for 60 days because we did just sign him. We can trade Grant Williams, but I think if we're going to make a play for Kuminga, it would have to be Harris, given the rating and some first round picks, and we'll see what happens. So if not, we can always know that if we decline Tobias's option and we can move on from Grant Williams, we should be able to free up enough money to sign Kuminga in the offseason. So I don't know, guys. We have some options here. I don't know if I want to wait that long. I'd like to get them and just extend them with bird rights. But do we have a team option here? Oh, not for a couple of years. So yeah, there's some opportunities, guys. We got some opportunities here, and I'm excited about this team and this roster. Hopefully, you guys feel the same way, are excited. Our next video, we're gonna be rocking some gameplay. That's what this video is supposed to be. I do apologize again that we had to redo this, but I still think it's a great informative video so you can see the moves and how our team is looking going into year 2. And as always, stay tuned to the next video as we're closing this one up. We're on to the next, and we're playing our first game. And we are going to play the Cavaliers opening night of the NBA season for us, Charlotte Hornets. So anyway, until then, guys, peace.